Master, dear friends. Have you seen the movie titled Frankenweenie? No? Frankenweenie? It is a great family movie directed by Tim Burton, featuring Winona Ryder and other great voices. It's an animated movie, and if you've seen any movies in the past by Tim Burton, you can probably imagine it is a weird one, but it does carry a message, as all of his movies. In this movie, a little dog, Sparky, is killed by a car, and his owner, a young boy, Victor, uses the power of science to bring his best friend back to life with some minor adjustments. For instance, when the dog drinks, the water leaks through the patches on his back, everywhere. It's coming out. He needs to be recharged several times because he runs out of power. And when he opens his eyes during the night, it's 2 flashlights. And once he ate a fly, and this fly flew out of his neck between his stitches. It was just hilarious. So Victor tried to hide this creation that he brought back to life, but then Sparky got out, and both Victor's friends and teachers and the entire town learned a lesson that a new lease on life can be monstrous. So this leads me to a question. How many of you own a dog? Nice, very nice. So who doesn't own a dog at all? Okay, great. Well, what are you waiting for? Go get a dog. And if you're not a dog person, go get a cat. When my daughter was 8 years old, she asked us a question if we could own a dog. Because we were the only family in Parker that didn't have a dog, and all of her friends and neighbors had a dog or 2 or cats and a dog. So what's wrong with our family? Why can't we have a dog? And of course, I had a long list of reasons why we will never have a dog, and I was very successful with coming up new excuses for 2 years. The biggest fear, or the biggest excuse that I had, was a fear of commitment and a fear of pain. I personally never owned a dog. I never lost a dog, but I know how it hurts when you lose someone you love, and I simply try to spare my daughter pain. If I could save her from hurting, I would do anything. My friend told me, "Joanna, this is just a part of life. She needs to experience that. But my precious daughter, I don't want to see her cry when her dog dies." Well, finally, last year I gave up. I told Veronica she could get a dog when she turns 10, but the dog had to meet my following those specific criteria. It must be a small dog, it must be healthy, it must be mellow but not a couch potato, it must be hypoallergenic because Chris and Veronica are allergic to dogs and cats, it cannot shed, it must love children, it must be totally family friendly, no barking, it cannot be hyperactive, it must be potty trained, and of course, it must pick up after himself. I was certain she would never, ever find a dog that would meet my criteria, right? Well, she was very determined, and she proved to me she could take care of the dog before she got one. So for 2 weeks, she would get up early in the morning, get dressed, get breakfast, and go outside to the park and back. And imagine this with this imaginary dog of hers. Just picture people walking their dogs and seeing this little girl walking on the path at 6:45 in the morning by herself, or at least they thought she was by herself. She had her dog with her. Well, she passed the test, and last year the day came. On August 31st, a month before she turned 10, she found a dog online at the Denver Dumps Friends League, and we went to visit him. When we saw the dog, he was very shy and he was not very excited when he saw us. He was 3 years old, poodle mix, and they told us that his previous owners simply thought they were hoping the dog would find new owners, someone who can take care of him. They traveled a lot. They were gone 8 to 10 hours a day. They thought it's not right for the dog to be home alone for so many hours. Mr. Cuddles, yes, you heard it right, Mr. Cuddles came home that night with us and stayed. We couldn't come up with a better name. It just suits him so well. He loves to cuddle. He loves to be in the middle. And God forbid you don't make room on the couch when he jumps on couch. He loves to sit in the middle. He met all of my criteria except for the one, you know, he's not picking that stuff in the yard. Veronica and Chris do it. He's just a bundle of joy. When we come home, he has this huge, genuine smile on his face and a wiggly butt. I kid you not, it's not just a tail, his whole body goes like this. It's just precious. And he is a precious gift from heaven, and he even knows how to type on the computer. Every time we try to get a laptop, he is trying to interrupt us, and he's typing. He helped me today a little bit. He's healthy, he's funny, he was fully potty trained, and then we think he's half cat because he loves to lounge on the top of the couch, and he loves to rub against our legs too. He has the cutest face, and I think if he could speak, he would have the cutest voice out of all animals. Mr. Cuddles was the best choice my daughter could have ever made, and I am very proud of myself. I let her do it. If you still need to be convinced that you need to get a dog, you gotta stop by our house one day and you'll see why. Or you can watch that funny movie, Frankenweenie, and you may get inspired too. Thank you.